Introduction to Human Physiology and Homeostasis. Human physiology is the study of how the human body functions, encompassing the complex interactions between various organ systems that work together to sustain life. At the core of this understanding is the concept of homeostasis, which refers to the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. This intricate balance is crucial for the proper functioning of physiological processes and overall health. The human body operates as a highly organized and interconnected system of organs and tissues. Each organ system has a specific role, yet they all work in concert to ensure that the body's internal environment remains stable. This coordination is vital because even minor deviations from optimal conditions can lead to significant health issues. For instance, maintaining a constant body temperature is essential because it affects enzyme activity and metabolic processes. Similarly, the regulation of blood glucose levels is crucial for providing energy to cells while preventing damage from high or low blood sugar. Homeostasis is achieved through a variety of mechanisms, primarily involving feedback systems. These systems use sensors to detect changes in the internal environment, which then trigger responses to correct deviations and restore balance. Feedback mechanisms can be classified into two main types: negative feedback and positive feedback. Negative feedback is the most common mechanism and works to counteract deviations from a set point. For example, if body temperature rises above its normal range, the hypothalamus in the brain detects this change and initiates processes to cool the body down, such as sweating and vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels. Conversely, if the body temperature drops, the hypothalamus prompts mechanisms like shivering and vasoconstriction, the narrowing of blood vessels, to generate and retain heat. In both cases, the response works to bring the body temperature back to its normal range, thereby maintaining homeostasis. Positive feedback is less common but plays a critical role in certain processes. Unlike negative feedback, which works to stabilize conditions, positive feedback amplifies changes in the system. An example is the process of childbirth. During labor, the release of the hormone oxytocin increases uterine contractions, which in turn promotes further oxytocin release. This cycle continues until the baby is born. Although positive feedback is less common in maintaining homeostasis, it is crucial for processes that require a definitive endpoint. Understanding human physiology and homeostasis involves examining the roles of various organ systems and their contributions to overall balance. Each system plays a unique role, yet they are all interdependent. For instance, the cardiovascular system, which includes the heart and blood vessels, is essential for delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues and removing waste products. This process is integral to maintaining homeostasis, as it supports the metabolic needs of cells and helps regulate internal conditions such as blood pressure and temperature. Similarly, the respiratory system is responsible for the exchange of gases, allowing for the intake of oxygen and the expulsion of carbon dioxide. This exchange is crucial for maintaining the pH balance of blood, which affects various physiological processes. The digestive system, on the other hand, breaks down food into nutrients that are absorbed and utilized by the body for energy, growth, and repair. The endocrine system, comprising glands that secrete hormones into the bloodstream, plays a key role in regulating numerous physiological processes, including metabolism, growth, and reproduction. Hormones act as chemical messengers, influencing the function of target organs and contributing to the maintenance of homeostasis. In summary, human physiology is a vast and intricate field that explores the functional aspects of the human body. Homeostasis, the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment, is a central concept that underscores the importance of coordinated organ systems. By understanding these physiological processes, we gain insights into how the body adapts to internal and external changes, ultimately promoting health and well-being. In the subsequent sections, we will delve deeper into the specific organ systems and their roles in maintaining this delicate balance. The nervous system, the body's communication network. The nervous system is a remarkable network of cells and tissues that coordinates and regulates the body's activities through electrical and chemical signals. It is responsible for processing sensory information, controlling motor functions, and maintaining homeostasis by transmitting messages between different parts of the body and the brain. The nervous system is divided into two main components: the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS. Each plays a distinct yet interconnected role in managing bodily functions and responding to external stimuli. The central nervous system, CNS. The CNS consists of the brain and spinal cord. The brain, the control center of the body, is responsible for interpreting sensory information, making decisions, and coordinating responses. It is divided into several regions, each with specialized functions. For instance, the cerebral cortex handles higher cognitive functions such as thinking, reasoning, and problem-solving, while the cerebellum is crucial for motor control and balance. The brainstem regulates basic life functions like breathing, heart rate, and blood pressure. The spinal cord, a long, tubular structure extending from the base of the brain down the back, acts as a major conduit for information traveling between the brain and the rest of the body. It is organized into segments that correspond to different body regions, with nerve fibers extending to and from these segments to facilitate communication. The peripheral nervous system, PNS. The PNS includes all the nerves and ganglia, clusters of nerve cell bodies, outside the CNS. It is further divided into two main divisions: the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system. This system is responsible for voluntary movements and sensory information processing. It includes motor neurons that control skeletal muscles and sensory neurons that relay information from sensory receptors, e.g., skin, eyes, ears, to the CNS. For example, when you touch a hot surface, sensory neurons send signals to the brain, which then processes the information and sends commands to retract your hand. Autonomic nervous system. This system controls involuntary functions and regulates internal body processes without conscious effort. It is divided into the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, which work in opposition to maintain homeostasis. Sympathetic nervous system. Often referred to as the fight or flight system, it prepares the body for stressful or emergency situations. It increases heart rate, dilates pupils, and redirects blood flow to essential organs and muscles, preparing the body for immediate physical activity. Parasympathetic nervous system. Known as the rest and digest system, it promotes relaxation and recovery. It slows the heart rate, stimulates digestive processes, and encourages energy conservation and repair after stress. Neurotransmission, electrical and chemical communication. The primary mode of communication within the nervous system involves electrical impulses and chemical signals. Neurons, the specialized cells of the nervous system, transmit information through electrical impulses known as action potentials. When a neuron receives a signal, it generates an action potential that travels along its axon to the axon terminals. At the axon terminals, the electrical signal triggers the release of neurotransmitters, which are chemical messengers that cross the synaptic cleft, the gap between neurons, and bind to receptors on the adjacent neuron, or target cell. This binding can either excite or inhibit the target cell, influencing its activity. Role in homeostasis. The nervous system plays a crucial role in maintaining homeostasis by continuously monitoring internal conditions and coordinating responses. For example, if blood pressure drops, the nervous system detects this change and initiates mechanisms to restore normal pressure, such as increasing heart rate and constricting blood vessels. Similarly, the nervous system regulates body temperature by controlling sweat production and blood flow to the skin. In summary, the nervous system is an intricate network that integrates sensory information, controls motor functions, and maintains homeostasis through electrical and chemical signaling. By understanding the structure and function of the CNS and PNS, as well as the mechanisms of neurotransmission, we gain insight into how the body coordinates its activities and responds to internal and external stimuli. This foundational knowledge is essential for exploring the interactions between the nervous system and other organ systems in maintaining overall health and well-being. The endocrine system. Regulation through hormones. The endocrine system is a complex network of glands and organs that secrete hormones into the bloodstream, playing a crucial role in regulating various physiological processes. Unlike the nervous system, which uses electrical impulses for rapid communication, the endocrine system relies on hormones, chemical messengers that travel through the blood to target tissues and organs, influencing their activity and maintaining homeostasis. Major endocrine glands. The endocrine system includes several key glands, each responsible for producing specific hormones that affect different aspects of bodily function. The major endocrine glands are pituitary gland, often referred to as the master gland. The pituitary gland is located at the base of the brain and is divided into the anterior and posterior lobes. The anterior pituitary produces hormones such as growth hormone, GH, which stimulates growth and cell reproduction, and adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, which stimulates the adrenal glands. The posterior pituitary releases antidiuretic hormone, ADH, which regulates water balance by affecting kidney function, and oxytocin, which influences uterine contractions during childbirth and milk ejection during lactation. Thyroid gland. Located in the neck, the thyroid gland produces thyroid hormones, including thyroxine, T4, and triiodothyronine, T3. These hormones regulate metabolism, energy production, and body temperature. The thyroid gland also produces calcitonin, which helps regulate calcium levels in the blood by promoting calcium deposition in bones. Parathyroid glands. These small glands, located on the posterior surface of the thyroid gland, produce parathyroid hormone, PTH. PTH is crucial for maintaining calcium homeostasis by increasing calcium release from bones, enhancing calcium absorption in the intestines, and reducing calcium loss through the kidneys. Adrenal glands. Situated on top of the kidneys, the adrenal glands consist of an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The adrenal cortex produces hormones such as cortisol, which helps manage stress and regulate metabolism, and aldosterone, which controls sodium and potassium balance. The adrenal medulla releases catecholamines, including adrenaline and noradrenaline, which prepare the body for fight or flight responses. Pancreas. The pancreas has both endocrine and exocrine functions. The endocrine part includes the islets of Langerhans, which produce insulin and glucagon. Insulin lowers blood glucose levels by promoting glucose uptake into cells, while glucagon increases blood glucose levels by stimulating the release of glucose from the liver. Gonads, ovaries and testes. The ovaries in females and testes in males are responsible for producing sex hormones, estrogens and progesterone in females, and testosterone in males. These hormones regulate reproductive processes, secondary sexual characteristics, and overall sexual function. Hormonal regulation and feedback mechanisms. Hormones exert their effects by binding to specific receptors on target cells, which then initiate a cascade of biochemical events that influence cellular function. The release of hormones is tightly regulated by feedback mechanisms to maintain balance and prevent overproduction or underproduction. Negative feedback. This is the most common feedback mechanism in the endocrine system. In this process, the release of a hormone is inhibited when its effects reach a certain level. For example, high levels of thyroid hormones in the blood inhibit the release of thyroid-stimulating hormone, TSH, from the pituitary gland, thereby reducing thyroid hormone production. This self-regulating mechanism ensures that hormone levels remain within a physiological range. Positive feedback. Less common in hormonal regulation, positive feedback amplifies the effects of a hormone. An example is the release of oxytocin during childbirth, which enhances uterine contractions. As contractions increase, more oxytocin is released until delivery is achieved. Role in homeostasis. The endocrine system plays a vital role in maintaining homeostasis by regulating processes such as metabolism, growth, stress response, and reproductive functions. Hormonal signals help coordinate activities across different organ systems, ensuring that the body's internal environment remains stable despite external changes. For instance, insulin and glucagon work together to maintain blood glucose levels, while cortisol helps manage the body's response to stress and maintains metabolic balance. In summary, the endocrine system is essential for regulating numerous physiological processes through hormone secretion and feedback mechanisms. Understanding the functions of the major endocrine glands and their hormones provides insight into how the body maintains balance and adapts to various internal and external challenges. This knowledge is fundamental for appreciating the complex interactions between the endocrine system and other physiological systems in maintaining overall health and well-being. The muscular and skeletal systems, support and movement. The muscular and skeletal systems work in harmony to provide structural support, facilitate movement, and maintain overall stability and posture. Together, these systems form the musculoskeletal system, which is essential for everyday activities, ranging from simple tasks like walking to complex movements involved in sports. The skeletal system. The skeletal system consists of bones, cartilage, and ligaments. Bones are the rigid structures that form the framework of the body, while cartilage provides flexible support and cushioning between bones. Ligaments are strong connective tissues that attach bones to each other, contributing to joint stability. Bone structure and function. The adult human skeleton is composed of 206 bones, which are categorized into two main groups, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton includes the skull, vertebral column, and rib cage, providing support and protection for the brain, spinal cord, and vital organs. The appendicular skeleton comprises the limbs and girdles, shoulder and pelvic, facilitating movement and interaction with the environment. Bone composition. Bones are made up of a dense outer layer called cortical bone and an inner spongy layer known as trabecular bone. Cortical bone provides strength and rigidity, while trabecular bone helps reduce weight and absorb shock. The bone matrix contains mineral salts, primarily calcium and phosphate, which give bones their hardness, and collagen fibers that provide flexibility. Bone remodeling. Bones are dynamic structures that continuously undergo remodeling. This process involves the resorption of old bone tissue by osteoclasts and the formation of new bone tissue by osteoblasts. Remodeling is crucial for repairing fractures, adapting to stress, and maintaining bone density. Joints. Joints, or articulations, are the locations where bones meet. They are classified based on their structure and function. Fibrous joints. These joints are connected by dense connective tissue and allow little to no movement. Examples include the sutures in the skull. Cartilaginous joints. These joints are united by cartilage and allow limited movement. Examples include the intervertebral discs in the spine. Synovial joints. These joints are characterized by a fluid-filled cavity that allows for a wide range of motion. Examples include the knee, hip, and shoulder joints. Synovial joints are further classified based on their movement types, such as hinge, elbow, ball and socket, shoulder, and pivot, neck, joints. The muscular system. The muscular system comprises three types of muscle tissue: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Each type has distinct structures and functions that contribute to movement and physiological processes. Skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle is attached to bones by tendons and is responsible for voluntary movements. These muscles are striated, meaning they have a banded appearance under the microscope. Skeletal muscles work in pairs. When one muscle contracts, shortens, the opposing muscle relaxes, lengthens, allowing for smooth and controlled movements. Muscle contraction is driven by the interaction between actin and myosin filaments within muscle fibers, which is regulated by calcium ions and ADP. Smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of internal organs such as the stomach, intestines, and blood vessels. Unlike skeletal muscle, smooth muscle is not striated and is controlled involuntarily by the autonomic nervous system. It helps regulate processes such as digestion, blood flow, and respiratory functions by contracting and relaxing in response to various stimuli. Cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle is found exclusively in the heart. It is striated like skeletal muscle but functions involuntarily, with rhythmic contractions that pump blood throughout the body. Cardiac muscle cells are interconnected by intercalated discs, which facilitate synchronized contractions and communication between cells. Interaction between muscles and bones. The interplay between muscles and bones is fundamental to movement. When a muscle contracts, it pulls on the bone to which it is attached, creating movement at the joint. For example, the biceps muscle contracts to lift the forearm, while the triceps muscle relaxes to allow the arm to extend. This coordinated effort enables a wide range of movements, from fine motor skills to powerful actions, maintaining posture and stability. In addition to facilitating movement, the muscular and skeletal systems work together to maintain posture and stability. Muscles continuously adjust their tone, a state of partial contraction, to support the body's position and counteract gravity. This active stabilization is essential for tasks such as standing, sitting, and balancing. In summary, the muscular and skeletal systems are integral to providing support, enabling movement, and maintaining overall stability. Understanding the structure and function of bones, joints, and muscles reveals how these systems collaborate to perform everyday activities and support physical health. This knowledge highlights the importance of maintaining a healthy musculoskeletal system through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and injury prevention. The cardiovascular system, the pumping heart. The cardiovascular system, also known as the circulatory system, is a complex network responsible for delivering oxygen and nutrients to cells, removing waste products, and maintaining homeostasis. This system consists of the heart, blood vessels, and blood, all working together to sustain life and ensure proper function across the entire body. The heart, the central pump. The heart is a muscular organ located in the thoracic cavity, slightly to the left of the midline. It functions as a pump to circulate blood throughout the body. The heart is divided into 4 chambers, 2 atria and 2 ventricles. The atria are the upper chambers that receive blood from the veins, while the ventricles are the lower chambers that pump blood out of the heart. Heart structure. The heart's walls are composed of 3 layers: the epicardium, outer layer, the myocardium, middle layer of cardiac muscle, and the endocardium, inner lining. The myocardium is the thickest layer and is responsible for the heart's contractile function. The heart is separated into 2 halves by the septum, with the right side handling deoxygenated blood and the left side dealing with oxygenated blood. Heart valves. 4 main valves ensure unidirectional blood flow through the heart. The atrioventricular valves, tricuspid and mitral, are located between the atria and ventricles, preventing backflow of blood into the atria during ventricular contraction. The semilunar valves, pulmonary and aortic, are positioned at the exits of the ventricles and prevent backflow into the ventricles after blood is ejected. Blood vessels, the circulatory highways. Blood vessels are the conduits through which blood flows throughout the body. They are classified into 3 main types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries. arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart to the tissues. They have thick, elastic walls that can withstand the high pressure of blood ejected from the heart. The largest artery, the aorta, branches into smaller arteries that further divide into arterioles, which regulate blood flow to various tissues. Veins. Veins return deoxygenated blood from the tissues back to the heart. They have thinner walls compared to arteries and are equipped with valves that prevent backflow, especially in the extremities where blood must travel against gravity. Major veins include the superior and inferior vena cava, which return blood to the right atrium. Capillaries. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels and connect arterioles to venules. Their thin walls allow for the exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste products between the blood and the tissues. The capillary network is extensive, providing close proximity to every cell in the body for efficient exchange. Blood circulation, the pathways of flow. The cardiovascular system operates through two main circulatory pathways, systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation. This pathway delivers oxygenated blood from the left side of the heart to the body's tissues and returns deoxygenated blood back to the right side of the heart. Oxygen-rich blood is ejected from the left ventricle into the aorta and distributed through the arterial system. After delivering oxygen and nutrients to the tissues, blood returns to the right atrium via the veins. Pulmonary circulation. This pathway transports deoxygenated blood from the right side of the heart to the lungs for oxygenation and then returns oxygenated blood to the left side of the heart. Deoxygenated blood is pumped from the right ventricle into the pulmonary arteries, which lead to the lungs. After gas exchange in the lungs, oxygenated blood returns to the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. Cardiac cycle and heart rate. The cardiac cycle refers to the sequence of events that occur from one heartbeat to the next. It includes diastole, the relaxation phase, during which the heart fills with blood, and systole, the contraction phase, during which the heart pumps blood out. The heart rate, the number of beats per minute, is regulated by the autonomic nervous system and hormonal signals to meet the body's varying demands for oxygen and nutrients. Maintaining homeostasis. The cardiovascular system plays a critical role in maintaining homeostasis by regulating blood pressure, temperature, and pH levels. The heart's pumping action and the adaptability of blood vessels ensure that tissues receive adequate blood supply regardless of physical activity or changes in body position. Additionally, the cardiovascular system interacts with other systems, such as the respiratory system, to manage oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. In summary, the cardiovascular system is vital for sustaining life by ensuring continuous blood flow, delivering essential nutrients, and removing waste products. Understanding the structure and function of the heart, blood vessels, and the circulatory pathways provides insight into how the body maintains homeostasis and adapts to various physiological needs. The respiratory system, breathing and gas exchange. The respiratory system is integral to maintaining life by facilitating the exchange of gases between the body and the external environment. It ensures the intake of oxygen, which is essential for cellular metabolism, and the removal of carbon dioxide, a waste product of cellular respiration. This process is crucial for maintaining the acid-base balance of the blood and supporting overall homeostasis. Structure of the respiratory system. The respiratory system is composed of several structures that work together to perform the functions of ventilation, air movement, and gas exchange. Upper respiratory tract. This includes the nose, nasal cavity, paranasal sinuses, and pharynx. The nose and nasal cavity filter, warm, and humidify the incoming air. The paranasal sinuses, which are air-filled cavities in the skull, also help to filter and condition the air and contribute to voice resonance. The pharynx serves as a passageway for air moving from the nasal cavity to the larynx and for food moving to the esophagus. Lower respiratory tract. This includes the larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. The larynx, voice box, is located at the top of the trachea and contains the vocal cords, which produce sound. The trachea, windpipe, is a flexible tube that extends from the larynx and divides into the right and left primary bronchi, which enter the lungs. The bronchi further branch into smaller bronchioles within the lungs, ending in the alveoli, which are the sites of gas exchange. Mechanics of breathing. Breathing involves two primary phases: inhalation, inspiration, and exhalation, expiration. These phases are driven by changes in thoracic cavity pressure due to diaphragm and intercostal muscle movements. Inhalation. During inhalation, the diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle at the base of the thoracic cavity, contracts and flattens, increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity. Simultaneously, the external intercostal muscles, located between the ribs, contract, elevating the rib cage and further expanding the chest cavity. This increased volume creates a negative pressure relative to the atmosphere, causing air to flow into the lungs. Exhalation. Exhalation is typically a passive process during rest, involving the relaxation of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles. The thoracic cavity's volume decreases, increasing the pressure inside the lungs relative to the outside atmosphere, which forces air out of the lungs. During vigorous activity, exhalation can become an active process involving the contraction of abdominal muscles and internal intercostal muscles to expel air more forcefully. Gas exchange. Gas exchange occurs in the alveoli, the tiny, sac-like structures at the end of the bronchioles. The alveoli are surrounded by a network of capillaries, and their walls are extremely thin to facilitate efficient gas exchange. Oxygen from the inhaled air diffuses across the alveolar membrane into the blood in the capillaries, where it binds to hemoglobin in red blood cells. At the same time, carbon dioxide, which is transported from the body's tissues, diffuses from the blood into the alveoli to be exhaled. Regulation of breathing. Breathing is regulated by the respiratory centers in the brainstem, specifically the medulla oblongata and pons. These centers respond to changes in blood levels of carbon dioxide, oxygen, and pH. When carbon dioxide levels rise, it leads to a decrease in blood pH, stimulating the respiratory centers to increase the rate and depth of breathing to expel excess carbon dioxide and restore acid-base balance. Conversely, low oxygen levels also trigger an increase in breathing rate to ensure adequate oxygen supply. Functions and homeostasis. The respiratory system's primary functions include oxygen delivery, ensuring a continuous supply of oxygen to the blood, which is essential for cellular respiration and energy production. Carbon dioxide removal, eliminating carbon dioxide, a byproduct of metabolism, to prevent acidosis and maintain proper blood pH. Acid-base balance, helping regulate blood pH by adjusting the rate of carbon dioxide removal. Temperature regulation, assisting in regulating body temperature through the evaporation of water during exhalation. In summary, the respiratory system is vital for gas exchange, providing oxygen to the blood and removing carbon dioxide. The coordinated mechanics of breathing, the structure of the lungs and alveoli, and the regulatory mechanisms ensure efficient respiration and homeostasis. Understanding these processes highlights the importance of respiratory health and the need for maintaining optimal lung function for overall well-being. The digestive system, nutrient absorption and energy production. The digestive system is a complex network of organs and glands responsible for breaking down food into nutrients, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream and utilized by the body for energy, growth, and repair. This system not only processes ingested food but also plays a crucial role in maintaining overall health and homeostasis by managing waste elimination and nutrient balance. Structure of the digestive system. The digestive system is comprised of the alimentary canal and several accessory organs. The alimentary canal, also known as the gastrointestinal (GI) tract extends from the mouth to the anus and includes the following structures. Mouth. Digestion begins in the mouth, where food is mechanically broken down by chewing and mixed with saliva. Saliva contains enzymes such as amylase that start the breakdown of carbohydrates. The tongue helps in manipulating food and forming it into a bolus, which is then swallowed. Pharynx and esophagus. The pharynx is a muscular tube that connects the mouth to the esophagus. It serves as a passageway for food and liquids to enter the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube that transports the bolus from the pharynx to the stomach through peristaltic contractions, which are wave-like movements that push food downward. Stomach. The stomach is a hollow organ with muscular walls that churn food and mix it with gastric juices. These juices contain hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes, such as pepsin, which begin the digestion of proteins. The acidic environment also helps kill pathogens and prepares food for further digestion in the small intestine. Small intestine. The small intestine is the primary site for digestion and nutrient absorption. It is divided into 3 sections: the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The duodenum receives digestive enzymes from the pancreas and bile from the liver to further break down food. The jejunum and ileum are primarily responsible for nutrient absorption. The inner lining of the small intestine is covered in villi and microvilli, which increase the surface area for nutrient absorption. Large intestine. The large intestine, or colon, absorbs water and electrolytes from the remaining indigestible food matter and compacts it into feces. It consists of the cecum, colon, rectum, and anus. The large intestine also houses beneficial bacteria that help in the fermentation of certain carbohydrates and synthesis of vitamins, such as vitamin K. Accessory organs. The accessory organs include the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder, which are essential for digestion but are not part of the alimentary canal. Liver. The liver produces bile, a substance that aids in the emulsification and digestion of fats. It also processes nutrients absorbed from the small intestine and detoxifies harmful substances. Pancreas. The pancreas produces pancreatic juice containing digestive enzymes, such as amylase, lipase, and proteases, which are released into the small intestine to aid in the digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. The pancreas also has an endocrine function, releasing insulin and glucagon to regulate blood glucose levels. Gallbladder. The gallbladder stores and concentrates bile produced by the liver and releases it into the small intestine when needed for fat digestion. Digestive processes. The digestive process involves several key stages. Ingestion, the intake of food and liquids through the mouth. Digestion, the breakdown of food into smaller molecules through mechanical and chemical means. Mechanical digestion involves chewing and churning, while chemical digestion involves enzymes and acids. Absorption, the uptake of nutrients from the digestive tract into the bloodstream. This primarily occurs in the small intestine, where nutrients pass through the intestinal lining into the circulatory system. Elimination, the removal of indigestible and unabsorbed food residues from the body as feces through defecation. Role in homeostasis. The digestive system plays a critical role in maintaining homeostasis by regulating nutrient and water balance, supporting immune function, and eliminating waste. By efficiently processing and absorbing nutrients, the digestive system ensures that the body has a steady supply of essential components needed for energy production, growth, and repair. Additionally, the digestive system helps maintain fluid balance and supports the immune system by protecting against pathogens and harmful substances. In summary, the digestive system is fundamental to breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and eliminating waste. Understanding the structure and function of the digestive organs, as well as the processes of digestion, absorption, and elimination, is crucial for maintaining overall health and supporting the body's various physiological functions. This knowledge underscores the importance of a balanced diet and proper digestive health in achieving and maintaining overall well-being. The excretory system. Waste elimination. The excretory system, also known as the urinary system, plays a crucial role in maintaining homeostasis by removing waste products and excess substances from the body. This system ensures that harmful metabolic byproducts are eliminated and essential balances of fluids, electrolytes, and pH are maintained. The primary organs involved in excretion are the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra. Structure of the excretory system. Kidneys. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs located in the posterior part of the abdomen. Each kidney is composed of an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The functional unit of the kidney is the nephron, a microscopic structure responsible for filtering blood and producing urine. Each kidney contains approximately 1 million nephrons. The nephron consists of glomerulus, a network of capillaries located within the Bowman's capsule, where blood filtration begins. The glomerulus filters blood based on size and charge, allowing water, ions, and small molecules to pass into the Bowman's capsule while retaining larger molecules and cells in the bloodstream. Proximal convoluted tubule, PCT. The PCT reabsorbs nutrients, electrolytes, and water from the filtrate back into the bloodstream. This reabsorption process ensures that essential substances are retained while waste products continue through the nephron. Loop of Henle. This section of the nephron creates a concentration gradient in the medulla of the kidney, which is crucial for water reabsorption. It has a descending limb that allows water to leave the filtrate and an ascending limb that actively transports sodium and chloride ions out of the filtrate. Distal convoluted tubule. DCT. The DCT further adjusts the composition of the filtrate through selective reabsorption and secretion of ions and other substances. It plays a role in regulating electrolyte balance and pH. Collecting duct. The collecting duct receives filtrate from multiple nephrons and processes it into urine. It is involved in the final adjustments of water and electrolyte balance, influenced by hormones such as antidiuretic hormone, ADH, and aldosterone. Ureters. The ureters are two tubes that transport urine from the kidneys to the bladder. They are lined with smooth muscle that undergoes peristaltic contractions to move urine efficiently. Bladder. The bladder is a muscular, expandable organ that stores urine until it is ready to be expelled from the body. The bladder's walls are lined with transitional epithelium that can stretch to accommodate varying volumes of urine. Urethra. The urethra is the tube through which urine is expelled from the bladder to the external environment. It has different lengths and functions in males and females. In males, it also serves as a passage for semen. Processes of excretion. Filtration. Blood entering the kidneys is filtered in the glomeruli, where water, electrolytes, glucose, amino acids, and waste products are separated from larger blood components. This filtrate then moves through the nephron tubules. Reabsorption. As the filtrate passes through the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule, essential substances are reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. This process helps retain vital nutrients and maintains fluid and electrolyte balance. Secretion. Additional waste products and excess ions that were not initially filtered are actively secreted into the tubular fluid from the blood in the capillaries surrounding the nephron. This process helps in the fine-tuning of the composition of the urine. Excretion. The final urine, which consists of waste products, excess water, and electrolytes, is collected in the collecting ducts and then transported through the ureters to the bladder. Once the bladder reaches a certain volume, the urge to urinate prompts the expulsion of urine through the urethra. Role in homeostasis. The excretory system is vital for maintaining homeostasis by regulating fluid balance, by adjusting the volume of urine produced and the concentration of electrolytes. The kidneys maintain appropriate fluid levels in the body. Electrolyte balance. The kidneys regulate the levels of sodium, potassium, calcium, and other electrolytes to ensure proper cellular function and overall balance. Acid-base balance. The kidneys help maintain the blood's pH within a narrow range by excreting hydrogen ions and reabsorbing bicarbonate ions. Removing metabolic wastes. The system eliminates byproducts of metabolism, such as urea and creatinine, which, if accumulated, could be toxic. In summary, the excretory system is crucial for waste removal and maintaining internal balance. By understanding its structure and function, we appreciate its role in ensuring that metabolic byproducts do not accumulate and that the body's internal environment remains stable. Proper functioning of the excretory system is essential for overall health and well-being. Homeostasis, maintaining balance. Homeostasis is the process by which the body maintains a stable internal environment despite changes in external conditions. This balance is essential for the proper functioning of cells, tissues, and organs, and is crucial for overall health and survival. Various systems in the body work together to regulate internal conditions such as temperature, pH, and fluid balance, ensuring that they remain within a range that supports optimal physiological function. Key concepts of homeostasis. Dynamic equilibrium. Homeostasis involves maintaining a dynamic equilibrium, where internal conditions fluctuate within a narrow range but remain stable overall. This dynamic nature means that the body continually adjusts to both internal and external changes to keep its internal environment stable. Feedback mechanisms. Feedback mechanisms are fundamental to maintaining homeostasis. They involve sensors that detect changes in the internal environment, a control center that processes this information, and effectors that carry out responses to restore balance. There are two main types of feedback mechanisms. Negative feedback. This is the most common mechanism in homeostasis. Negative feedback works to reverse a deviation from a set point, returning the system to its normal range. For example, when body temperature rises, sensors in the skin and brain detect the increase. The control center, the hypothalamus, then triggers responses such as sweating and vasodilation, widening of blood vessels, to cool the body down. Once the temperature returns to the normal range, these responses are reduced. Positive feedback. Unlike negative feedback, positive feedback amplifies a change rather than reversing it. It is less common but important in specific situations. An example is the process of childbirth. During labor, the release of oxytocin increases uterine contractions, which pushes the baby further down the birth canal, leading to more intense contractions. This positive feedback loop continues until delivery occurs. Homeostatic regulation of body systems. Temperature regulation. Maintaining a stable body temperature is vital for enzymatic and metabolic processes. The body uses a combination of physiological and behavioral responses to regulate temperature. The hypothalamus in the brain acts as the body's thermostat, monitoring temperature changes and initiating responses such as sweating, shivering, and altering blood flow to the skin. Additionally, behavioral actions like seeking shade or wearing appropriate clothing help manage temperature. Fluid and electrolyte balance. The body's fluid and electrolyte balance is regulated by the kidneys, which filter blood and adjust the levels of water, sodium, potassium, and other ions. Antidiuretic hormone, ADH, and aldosterone are hormones that play key roles in this regulation. ADH increases water reabsorption in the kidneys, while aldosterone regulates sodium and potassium levels. Proper fluid and electrolyte balance is crucial for maintaining blood pressure, nerve function, and muscle contractions. Blood glucose regulation. The regulation of blood glucose levels is essential for energy homeostasis. The pancreas secretes insulin and glucagon, hormones that help maintain glucose levels within a narrow range. Insulin lowers blood glucose levels by promoting glucose uptake into cells, while glucagon raises blood glucose levels by stimulating the release of glucose from the liver. This balance ensures that cells have a steady supply of energy while preventing excessive fluctuations in blood sugar. pH balance. The body maintains the pH of blood and other fluids within a narrow range, around 7.35 to 7.45. The buffering systems, respiratory system, and kidneys all contribute to pH regulation. Bicarbonate ions act as buffers to neutralize excess acids or bases. The respiratory system helps regulate pH by adjusting the levels of carbon dioxide, which affects blood acidity. The kidneys also excrete or reabsorb hydrogen ions and bicarbonate to help maintain pH balance. Homeostasis and health. Disruptions to homeostasis can lead to health problems. For example, uncontrolled diabetes can result in high blood glucose levels, leading to damage to blood vessels and organs. Similarly, dehydration or electrolyte imbalances can affect heart function, muscle contractions, and overall well-being. Maintaining homeostasis is crucial for preventing such imbalances and ensuring the body operates efficiently. In summary, homeostasis is the process by which the body maintains stable internal conditions despite external changes. Through feedback mechanisms and regulatory systems, the body manages temperature, fluid balance, blood glucose levels, and pH to support optimal physiological function. Understanding homeostasis highlights the complexity of the body's regulatory systems and emphasizes the importance of maintaining internal balance for overall health and well-being. Key concepts of the chapter: organ systems and homeostasis. Understanding the complexity of human physiology requires an appreciation of how various organ systems interact to maintain homeostasis. This chapter has explored the intricate workings of several systems, including the nervous, endocrine, muscular, skeletal, cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, and excretory systems, all of which play vital roles in sustaining the body's internal environment. Organ systems and their functions. Nervous system. The nervous system is the body's communication network, coordinating activities through electrical impulses and chemical signals. It is divided into the central nervous system, CNS, comprising the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS, which includes all the nerves extending from the CNS. This system is essential for processing sensory information, controlling voluntary and involuntary actions, and maintaining homeostasis by responding rapidly to internal and external changes. Endocrine system. The endocrine system regulates various physiological processes through the secretion of hormones by glands such as the pituitary, thyroid, adrenal glands, and pancreas. Hormones act as chemical messengers, influencing growth, metabolism, and reproduction. Unlike the nervous system's fast responses, the endocrine system typically exerts slower but longer-lasting effects, ensuring long-term regulation of bodily functions. Muscular and skeletal systems. The skeletal system provides structural support, protection for internal organs, and a framework for movement. It works in conjunction with the muscular system, which is responsible for voluntary and involuntary movements. Muscles contract to move bones, maintain posture, and generate heat. Together, these systems facilitate movement, support, and protection while contributing to overall stability and balance. Cardiovascular system. The cardiovascular system, consisting of the heart, blood vessels, and blood, is crucial for transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste products throughout the body. The heart pumps blood through the circulatory system, while blood vessels, arteries, veins, and capillaries ensure that blood reaches all tissues. This system is vital for maintaining homeostasis by regulating blood pressure, temperature, and nutrient delivery. Respiratory system. The respiratory system facilitates gas exchange, bringing oxygen into the body and removing carbon dioxide. This system includes the nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. The process of breathing ensures that oxygen is available for cellular respiration and that carbon dioxide is expelled. Proper respiratory function is essential for maintaining the acid-base balance and overall cellular health. Digestive system. The digestive system breaks down food into nutrients that can be absorbed and utilized by the body. This system includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and accessory organs like the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. Through mechanical and chemical digestion, the digestive system processes food, absorbs essential nutrients, and eliminates waste, playing a key role in energy production and overall health. Excretory system. The excretory system removes metabolic waste products and excess substances from the body. Key components include the kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra. The kidneys filter blood to produce urine, which is then transported to the bladder and eventually expelled from the body. This system is essential for maintaining fluid balance, electrolyte levels, and pH balance. Homeostasis and its importance. Homeostasis is the body's ability to maintain a stable internal environment despite external changes. It involves feedback mechanisms. These are crucial for detecting changes and initiating responses to restore balance. Negative feedback loops, such as those regulating body temperature and blood glucose levels, work to counteract deviations from set points. Positive feedback, although less common, amplifies responses in specific situations, such as during childbirth. Integration of systems. Multiple organ systems work together to maintain homeostasis. For example, the nervous and endocrine systems coordinate responses to stress. The cardiovascular and respiratory systems collaborate to regulate oxygen and carbon dioxide levels, and the digestive and excretory systems manage nutrient absorption and waste elimination. Adaptation to changes. The body continually adjusts its internal conditions in response to changes in the environment, such as temperature fluctuations, dietary intake, and physical activity. This adaptability is crucial for maintaining optimal physiological function and overall health. Conclusion. The exploration of human physiology and homeostasis highlights the complexity and interdependence of the body's organ systems. Each system plays a unique role in maintaining internal balance and supporting overall health. Understanding these concepts enhances our appreciation for the intricacies of the human body and underscores the importance of integrated system function in achieving and sustaining well-being. By grasping these fundamental principles, we can better appreciate the delicate balance that keeps us alive and functioning optimally.